and welcome to Washington Exec's video series. I'm senior reporter Rachel Kirkland, and I'm joined today by John Damon, CEO of Canopy Children's Solutions. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Rachel. It's wonderful to be with you.
So Canopy is a nonprofit provider of behavioral health, education, and social services solutions to children and families. And John is here today to talk about Canopy and how a partnership with Microsoft is transforming the way that you're able to provide some services. Can you start by just giving us an overview of what Canopy is?
Well, first, thank you for having us. This is a wonderful opportunity to get to share this great mission. We're in the business of transforming lives, and we're Mississippi's largest provider of behavioral health, education, and social service solutions across Mississippi. We serve about 6,000 kids a year across the state, and we are in the business of seeing every child become a success story and to help thrive in their own home and community. So that's kind of what we're about.
Wonderful. Now, Canopy is based in Mississippi. You live in Mississippi and grew up there. Tell me about what led to your work starting Canopy.
Canopy became the best place to employ my own skills for my own passion, my own mission to help be a difference maker. And so I started as a therapist 28 years ago here. And then reluctantly, and I mean that, reluctantly moved into administrative work because positions were open and I agreed to do it on an interim basis. But then I saw how you could apply the same macro systems intervention that you do at the family level, but at macro systems. And so we began to work with not only the policy side, but all three branches of state government here, and then our congressional delegation. And so now in CEO role, do a lot of national work with our federal folks, but also partners and providers around the country to make good public policy for kids and families. So I stay here because I believe this is the best place to help kids, and because Mississippi's helping lead the way nationally for kids and mental health.
Now, Canopy's partnered with Microsoft to deliver digital therapeutics. Tell me more about that.
They have been absolutely amazing. Over the last 3 years, we've developed this very special relationship with Microsoft. And a very special blueprint that the rest of the world and corporate America and global companies can really, I think, apply. And through this partnership, we've had these opportunities to bring together the kind of best ideas from our folks and their folks and bring innovation to bear to address some of the most vexing problems facing kids and families that we've seen, of course, through the pandemic and also on issues such as autism. Which is prevalence rates now have moved from 1 in 1,000 to 1 in 54 in just over 2 decades. And so as an example, we've partnered with some of the Microsoft software developers who've teamed up with our experts in our Center of Excellence of Autism from Johns Hopkins and others to really experiment with augmented therapies, how we can use Microsoft's HoloLens, for example, to gamify and to be able to, reach that child in a different way that they're interested in, that helps them change at a more aggressive pace and keep up with their pace of learning. We've also been working on artificial intelligence work that would allow us to take advantage of Microsoft's Azure platform to access world-class empirically supported treatments from anywhere. And also an innovation that we've been pressing is, like with autism, as I mentioned, that prevalence rate jump. You can't catch the workforce problem, right? It's impossible to train as many people as we need. So through digital tabletop solutions and a gamified approach and using the cloud-based technologies, we're able to really leapfrog some of those workforce issues because technology is going to have to be part of the solution moving forward on this most vexing problem that we see with autism. So we've also collaborated doing hackathons, bringing the brightest minds around the world that have been here to Mississippi and in partnership all around the world to think of just creative ways to solve some of these technology issues that we have for our kids and families. And so that's just one aspect. We've also had a whole other kind of part of the ecosystem at Microsoft that has done this twice a year family-friendly music event called Inclusion Rocks. And then it kind of culminates into a big concert that a lot of the execs play in this amazing band. It used to be called Microsoft Rocks Band, and it's the Inclusion Rocks now. And they have helped us raise incredible support for our mission. Microsoft, also another part of Microsoft, has been the digital transformation that they've helped us with. The amazing kind of digital strategy team has come alongside us to give us a technology roadmap as a 109-year-old organization. What does the digital future look like? And how do we reach families and kids in a different way moving forward, regardless of where they live and the technology that they may have access to? And really, at the end of the day, why this partnership has been so amazing and powerful is because we have a shared value for the world. We have a shared mission. Their mission is to empower every individual and every organization on the planet to achieve more, which is basically our mission statement. So we've really braided these mission statements together to come together to accomplish something so that 1 + 1 is more than 2, and accomplish something together we can never accomplish apart.
Wonderful. Now, you've talked before about different therapies that are offered. What is the outlook for children who do go through evidence-based treatments?
Oh, yes. So the good news, the really good news is treatment works. I mean, study after study, meta-analysis after meta-analysis has proven, regardless of the type of presenting issue, regardless of some of the interventions, treatment works. And we know this with mental health, with significant outcomes. And we also know that, and with autism, that treatment works, and the earlier the intervention, the better. So it's critical that we intervene as early as possible with kids to get the best outcomes. But what I would put alongside that fact is, when you talk about mental health, for example, 1 in 5 kids struggle. Okay, 1 in 5, but 4 of 5 of those kids never get help. Even though treatment works, 4 or 5 never get help. And so we know that 5 of 5 kids can thrive if they get the help they need. And so having the discussions and bringing the stigma discussion down so that every kid gets access to it, and breaking the barriers down with technology, that's how we help 5 of 5 kids thrive.
So what are some ways that we can help foster greater equity and inclusion for children and adults with autism?
Yes, and it's such an important inclusion issue, right? Because 5 of 5 kids can thrive and should be included in that right to thrive. We want to foster equity, to your question. We want to foster equity to make sure every child has that right to thrive by receiving that life-changing care where they need it, when they need it, for how long they need it. Because every family, that's what they want for their kid. And every family has a child with autism. They should have access to world-class care. They should get this kind of treatment that allows their kid to start kindergarten like every other kid, and include them in that right to thrive. So, this is issues that are playing out in every company, whether you're a small nonprofit or you're a large one, or you're a global leader like a Microsoft and many of the members here. Your employees and their children have been through a lot this past year. And so to lens mental health and autism through the lens of inclusion, through the lens of making sure that there's equity of treatment and accessibility of care to every kid, that's part of what the brilliance of this great blueprint that we put together with Microsoft and the shared mission for companies to reach out and find like-minded, like-missioned organizations that can accelerate their own vision for their employees and their employees' kids, and to accelerate their vision for the community, the kind of difference they want to make. It's a beautiful pathway, and to empower their employees, and to listen to the stories of the Microsoft employees who've been changed by jumping into this kind of mission. This generation, employees, they want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And so they've got to find that group, that partner that fits from a workforce retention on their own, HR side, but also from the mission accomplishment. That it's not just that we make more money, that's important, but we accomplish something together with another group that we could never accomplish alone. And so that partnership ecosystem moves children from, in autism, for example, that we're working on, from the point of diagnosis to the point of independence, where they get jobs and they go work for these companies, right? And their brilliant minds are put into play. It also removes geography from the equation so that they could access through technology this life-saving care from wherever they are. and that it helps transform their lives regardless of their ability to afford that. And that's part of what we're fighting for from an equity standpoint too, that every kid should get access to that life-changing care. So that's a piece of how we're trying to foster that.
So how can our viewers get involved if they want to support Canopy?
Yes, thank you. So I think that there's something very special that has happened with Canopy and Microsoft that we all need to learn from this blueprint, right? The public-private partnership and the power of that is been empowering to us as an organization. It's made us do our mission better. And if you talk to the Microsoft employees, it's done the same for them. So there's a real synergy there. And I would love to extend the invitation to the WashingtonExec group to get involved. That might be with us. It might be with another organization that you're passionate about. But with us, of course, check us out on our website at mycanopy.org and find out all the many incredible things that are happening that you and your employees can get behind. And then a big invitation. I'd love to. We can follow up with an invite. But at the end of October, we'll be in DC area with Microsoft through the big concert that the Microsoft sponsors and puts on. That will be a big celebration moment. We can finally be in 3D form together. And we'd love to have you there and come and let's sit down and talk and find the right on-ramp that's going to accelerate your mission and your vision for the community to help make this place a better place for kids and families. So I hope you'll be able to join us at the end of October. That would be fantastic.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you for coming on and sharing this information with us. Take care.
Thank you, Rachel.